Hi, okay. So today's video is going to be a personal story that I'm sharing in the hopes that it will be inspirational and educational to a topic that I get asked about actually a fair amount. It's the relationship between ayahuasca, plant medicines, and eating disorders like bulimia and anorexia. Since I've had a personal journey with bulimia for many, many years, I suffered from it on and off, and then used the power of plant medicine to help heal it. I've just been called to share kind of my personal journey with it and how that came to be. And my cat is here to help. So I began working with the medicine about 15, 16 years ago. And at that point, I was in the throes of several addictions, but I would say the worst of which was a really deep um, tether to bulimia. I really couldn't eat a meal that made me feel satiated or full in any way without immediately wanting to throw it up. And for the most part, I did actually purge, sometimes 3+ times a day. And that went on for many years, on again, off again. And thank you, Prana. And then I started working with the medicine, and I didn't really want to address the bulimia right away. It was such a deep pain point in me and a huge identification. I didn't know who I would be without binging and purging, especially purging. So I didn't really go there for quite a while with the medicine. I dealt with migraine headaches, I dealt with chronic pain, I dealt with anger, I dealt with depression, I dealt with suicidal ideation, but I kept leaving the bulimia. And then, about 3 or so years into the apprenticeship that I was doing with my teacher, I had a cycle with him where I had 3 or 4 ceremonies in a row that were unreal with the physical pain. Like my belly hurt so badly that I finally, in the middle of the last ceremony of that cycle, was like talking to the medicine saying, "What the hell is this?" It was so painful. And she answered back right away, "This is karma for binging and purging. This is karma for thinking that you can control the flow of things that way and damage your body and abuse your body in that way." And it made perfect sense in that space. It was like, okay. And honestly, it felt like an honor to get to work through the karma of that with the medicine. And so I accepted my fate of having to feel this pain and process this pain. And towards the end of the ceremony, she gave me instructions. She was like, the next time you drink, you have to drink 3 cups. And on the last cup, you will have the mother of all purges, and this will be an opportunity to release the bulimia. But she gave me a big warning of that there was going to be a flood of emotions, of all of the things that I was repressing, and the core of it, I guess, would be self-hate and self-worth issues. And she just gave me a heads up, and sure enough, I sat again not that long after, followed the instructions, and up comes the purge. It was a kind of purging experience where I felt like I was being turned inside out. It was so intense, but I trusted it. And I felt this immense space of relief after I was finished purging. It's like a weight had lifted. And there was very clear instructions of how to love myself. It's where I created the self-care game that I've shared with a lot of you, and I will do a post all about that soon. But it's where she just gave me lots of instructions about how to do little things every single day to build up this space of self-love. I think a lot of us, we look for a light switch moment where suddenly, like, there it is, I love myself now. And the truth is that that is cultivated by the little things we do every day, down to like remembering when you drink a glass of water, that's because you love yourself. And she gave me this instruction of all the things I did for self-care every day to remember it's to me, from me, with love. And every single time I did it, it was one more like coin in the spirit bank of self-love. And it started to add up, and it's still adding up. And that is the well from which I choose otherwise. When the bulimic demon comes back, this was many years ago. I haven't been bulimic since, but there has been the temptation. It's not like I've been cured of that. It's just the temptation to choose self-love is stronger. That's it. And that's really what I wanted to share about the using plant medicine in the journey of healing these debilitating eating disorders. It is not a moment where, boom, everything's better and okay. What we're doing is creating the balance of healing the wound that first spurred the desire. And for a lot of us, it's about control. For a lot of us, it's just about the self destruction. For a lot of us, it's rebellion. Like, there's a lot of reasons we go to these places, but fundamentally, the thing that cures it is the love of ourselves. We don't want to harm anyone that we love. And if we're harming ourselves, then there isn't a true, authentic experience of self love. I could talk about this for days, but that's just a good seedling to plant. If any of you out there are struggling with an eating disorder and you're in the throes of working with a medicine, or you're called to work with a medicine, I'd be honored to be an assistant, just to kind of guide you through various ways that are very personally created to help you have a safe and effective experience with these medicines. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being brave enough to do this work together. And if you want to reach out, ask me questions anytime. My email is kat@afterlife.coach. My website is afterlife.coach. Thank you so much. Journey well, everybody.